Hey guys, Chad McNatt here, back with some more sales training and tips. And guys, today is such a big one. We're talking about trust. Told you guys I was going to do a video on this in one of my previous videos, and here it is. Guys, trust is the biggest thing that you can establish as a salesperson. You don't want to buy from somebody, you don't even want to be around someone that you don't trust. So today I want to talk about how to overcome, how to gain people's trust as we go through the sales process. So again, you've heard it in almost every video I've made. Think about it as a relationship. It's really hard once you've broken trust in a relationship to gain that trust back. So let's work in the first place and not breaking that trust. Okay, let's build trust. Let's keep trust throughout the entire sales process. All right, so number one, first thing we're going to talk about how to build trust is be an expert. People trust experts. People trust credible news sources. People trust people with authority. People trust people that they know are experts. So be an expert in your field. Know your product. Know your service. Know your people, your competition, the market space around it. Your job should be to provide a solution for a problem they have. And if your product or service doesn't provide that solution, that's okay. Be honest, be upfront with them. Yeah, are you not going to be able to make that sale? Absolutely. But you would rather build the trust of that person and not get that sale if your product and service isn't going to solve their solution than to sell them a product or service they don't need, they don't want. Then they're going to regret it. It's going to reflect negatively on you, on your company, and when they're talking to other people, they're not going to suggest you. But if you provide them with a solution, even if it's not your solution, now all of a sudden you've built trust with this person. So next time they come and they have a friend that's looking for something similar to your product, who are they going to suggest? They're going to suggest you because you're an expert in your field. You know what you're talking about. You're giving quality information to these clients. And that's what it's all about. And that's the number one thing on building trust. Second, we have find and care about their needs, guys. All right, that's crucial. You don't just want to talk to somebody, you want to listen. You want to hear exactly what problem are they trying to solve, and you want to empathize with that. Figure out what's the biggest issue they're having. Then, now I know how my product's going to help solve that. So if they bring up a concern, address it, stop what you're talking about, address it, give them some information before you move on. This is going to show that you care about them, you care about what issues they have going on, and you're going to help them fix those issues. All right? Imagine if your significant other brought up a concern they have in your relationship, and you just brushed it off and you just kept talking about the football game you watched or what you did at work or anything like that. Not going to go too well, is it? Same thing with our customers, guys. If they bring up a concern, they bring up something that they're having a problem with, that's important to them, and it should be important to you, because that's why you're there. Yes, you're there to sell. Yes, you're there to close, but your main concern is you're there for them. You're there to help them solve whatever problem they might be having. So care, legitimately care about what your customer is going through. Next, we have honor your commitments. All right, guys, have a high say-do ratio. If you tell a client, you tell a customer that you're going to do something, do it. If you tell them you're going to have it to them by end of the day, don't have them to them at 5. Don't have it to them at 6. Have it to them at 3 or 4 if possible. Honor your commitments, because the first time you don't honor your commitment, now you're untrustworthy. First time you tell them, hey, I'm going to have that to you by 5, and it's 7 o'clock before you have it, and I know you had a busy day, you had a lot going on. I get it. It happens, right? Do everything in your power to honor that commitment. Because you've already told that person, again guys, we're dealing with people here. We're not just dealing with a product, we're dealing with people. And again, taking it back to a relationship. If your significant other says, hey, I'm going to be here at this time so we can do whatever, you expect them to be there. And when they're not there, it doesn't feel good. And you lose a little bit of trust. We don't want to do that with clients. We want to honor our commitments. We don't do that in relationships either. But we have to honor those commitments. Don't make them hunt you down, guys. Do not make them hunt you down for the information that you're trying to give them, for any questions, concerns they may have. You need to be proactive. Honor those commitments. And next, guys, final point we have today is just be normal. Okay? Don't be your typical salesperson that's just going in there with a clear goal in mind of closing this sale. Should that be in your head, closing the sale? Absolutely. I'm not saying let's get rid of ever thinking about closing of the sale, but all we're talking about today is building trust. And again, we're talking to people. Even if you're doing B2B sales, I know you're dealing with a business, but you're still interacting with a person. We buy from people we like, we buy from people we trust. So get to know that person. All right? Treat it like a relationship, like you're meeting someone new for the first time. Okay? You're out and about and you just happen to meet someone new. You're going to genuinely care about what that person has to say. You're going to take interest in the things that they have interest in. Do the same thing in your sales, guys. Talk to them like you're talking to a friend. Get your information across still. You still need to be able to provide value and get your information across. But don't just go in there guns blazing and just telling them all the wonderful things that you do or your product does, anything like that, because they're not going to respond to that. What they are going to respond to is a person coming in there acting like a normal person, taking interest in them, taking interest in what they have going, and then providing them information. Now we've established that trust, and now they feel comfortable with us. Now don't be faking this. Don't go in there and say, I'm going to give them a compliment just so I can get going on to my next thing. No. You have to get to the point where you genuinely care about what your customer's feeling, what their thoughts are, and how you can help them. That's when you become a great salesperson. It's that right there. If I could break it down to one thing, it's when you genuinely care about people enough to go in and help them solve a problem. Giving them a compliment is a great thing. I go to the home service industry, so I go in, beautiful home. I'm going to tell them, hey, it's a beautiful home. I love the marble countertops you have in here. I love X, Y, Z. But it's going to be something genuine that I truly think is beautiful or that I think is great about their home. I will never just walk into a home and just say, you got a beautiful home. Sometimes I don't walk into beautiful homes. But there's always something, because again, they're a person. There's always something I can connect with them on. So again, think about it like a relationship. Go into each sale thinking, this is a person that I am meeting for the first time. How do I want to present myself? I want to be trustworthy. I want to get to know this person. I want to build that relationship. Guys, I still have clients from years ago that I still have relationships with. Matter of fact, Thursday night, I'm meeting up with one of my clients when I used to do personal training sales. I'm meeting up with a client that I have from them because I built such a relationship with this person before we even talked about selling personal training to them. Build your relationship first. Everything else will follow. All right, guys, so that's all the points that I have today on trust. If there's an issue maybe you run into where you've done something and you feel like the client's pulling back because they don't trust you now, or you just feel like you're having trouble establishing trust as a whole, guys, leave a comment. Let me know. We'll talk about it. If there's any other area in sales that you're struggling with, we talked about closing already. We've talked about trust, and we've talked about a few other things. If there's something else that you're struggling with that I have not spoken on, leave a comment. We'll make a video on it. We'll talk about it. But in the meantime, guys, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe for more content. And make sure you follow us, guys. And until next time, I'll see you later.